Welcome to a new video, everybody. Today we're going to be installing a dual blow-off valve system on the Stinger. Let's go ahead and take a look at the kit and see what all we'll need to do to get it installed. Alrighty, here's everything that comes in the kit. We've got the two blow-off valves. We've got a wrench for adjusting the nut on the top there. That's going to adjust the spring on the inside and give us the sound that we want out of the blow-off valves. We've got the little adapters that the valves are going to sit on, and they actually already have a O-ring inside of them and the bolts to attach them. Now they also included another O-ring in here, and then there's also a snap ring, some hose clamps, and a little air filter, and they went ahead and gave us two sets of those because we got the dual kit. We've got some hose to put in between the little T connector here and this other little valve there. We've got some zip ties to kind of cable manage the hoses and whatnot, and then these little stoppers, these are actually like legs for a chair or a table. I believe they're 1 inch. You can pick them up at the hardware store, but they come in the kit, and we're going to cap the recirculation valves with those. So let's go ahead and get the stock system removed, and then we'll get this installed. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is remove the stock blow-off valve system. So we'll be taking some needle nose pliers and pinching these clamps to where we can remove this hose and this hose so we're not recirculating our air. We want to be doing something called venting to atmosphere so that people can hear the psh once our turbos let off all that pressure. Then we're going to take all 8 of these bolts out, and I believe this little hose clamp right here is going to slide off, and we'll be able to remove this whole system. Now that we've got these stock blow-off valves removed, we need to go ahead and remove this little gasket from the bottom of each of them. It's going to go on the bottom side of the adapter here. We're just going to pry it out with like a little screwdriver, or maybe our fingernails, and then put it into the bottom of the adapters. Alrighty, now that we've got the adapter ready to go, we can go ahead and grab our Add W1 blow-off valve, and we're going to use a snap ring here on the middle. We're going to go ahead and put that on there, and then we'll set it down into the base of the adapter like that, and then release the tension on the snap ring so that it stays in there all as one piece. Now that we've got both of the blow-off valves on the adapters and the snap rings in place, we can go ahead and use the bolts provided to attach the blow-off valves back to the merge pipe. if you need some extra install space for these or the bolts, you can go ahead and take these little discharge funnels off with an Allen key, but I had enough room here to where I didn't really need to do that, and it was just going to be an extra step. So we'll go ahead and make sure that we hand tighten all of these bolts, and then we'll work on all of the tubing up here. Okay, so we did run into a little bit of an issue with the supplied hose clamps. They didn't quite want to go all the way over the hose and the end of the valve there, so we ended up using these zip ties. I'm gonna cut the ends off of all these, and then we're gonna kind of push this cabling over off to the side so it doesn't get caught up in anything back here. And then we'll go ahead and start the car and see if we need to adjust the tension on these. Alrighty, so the first thing you want to make sure of is that while you're sitting idle, the blow-off valves are closed. You don't want that piston to open up and just be releasing air constantly. If that happens, you want to go ahead and adjust those nuts on the top. I don't hear anything so far, so we're going to go ahead and rev it up a little bit and see what kind of sounds we can get from these things. And with no error codes on the dash, the blow-off valves sound like they are working properly. There were a few pieces in the kit that I didn't end up using. I ended up using the stock little T connector down there because I reused some of the stock hosing. Like I said, the little hose clamps they included didn't quite want to go around the hose and the valve all the way, so we zip tied all of that. And I didn't use the air filter here. They want you to put that kind of in between somewhere here, but this should be just compressed air that's blowing out. So I'm not really 100% sure why a filter is included. I saw in some of the other kits that it wasn't included before, so I just kind of left it out. And again, this little valve right here, I believe was an extra piece that was supposed to fit up in there, but I don't believe it was 100% necessary because I got everything working without it. Alrighty, we've got the Stinger in sport mode. Let's see what these blow-off valves sound like on some open road. Pretty nice. Thank you guys so much for stopping by and checking out the video. A huge thank you to W1 for supplying the blow-off valves so that we could do an install video for you guys. I will be leaving a link to their website and a link to the blow-off valve kit in the description down below. So if you want to go ahead and get one for your car or a dual set for your car, go ahead and check down there. Again, thank you so much for stopping by and checking out the video, and I hope to see you in my next one.